to Midday. We are sitting down today with Monique from Abbott Wealth Management. It's great to have you back on the show.
Thank you, Susan.
Yes, talking today a little bit about having your parents help you get a down payment together for your house.
That's right.
Yeah, so how does that all go?
Well, it used to be that once the children entering the working world, that the parents were largely done with supporting them financially. However, the number of young people is growing, that they are struggling just to get by, and they are turning to their parents to see if they could help out financially. Look just at the fact of student loans, to repay it, and then not being up to par what you expect from an income point of view. So it's tough. One of the ways, though, that money can actually make us happy is allowing us the opportunity to give to great causes and also to be able to give to the people you care about.
Yes.
So that's where the parents usually come into play. And we do see it more often that parents do seek advice regarding that particular topic because they want to help their child financially to pay for the down payment for their first home. It makes it all really more special.
But they want to make sure they do it in a way that it's going to work out for them.
Well, yeah, as a parent, even if before you even consider if you want to do it or not, ask yourself some critical questions. Are we able to afford it? Is one of them. Mm-hmm. I mean, if that's not the case, then that's totally out of the equation to help out. You can there be mentally, of course, and they've been there, done that. Mm-hmm. But the other thing too is if you do decide to help out and if you're able to, then what impact does it have on your own retirement income plan? Sure. When you are relying on your income stream down the road, how does that affect you? Or if your medical expenses will increase significantly, are we then still okay with our daily living expenses?
Mm-hmm. We have some graphics. Should we get to those?
Yeah, sure.
Let's take a
and
look
then
first.
The other part is too is if they do want to help out the children, is from what source of income is the money coming from,
right,
and what kind of taxable impact would it have for the parents to be able to prepare for that as well. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting because for the last year we actually met with quite a few parents seeking some advice regarding this particular topic. Mm-hmm. And last week we had a couple in as well. And the only thing we kind of talked about, and that's maybe a good thing too, to talk to your financial advisor because it takes the emotion out of the equation and to look at, the helicopter view and more in an objective way is just what ifs. So with this particular couple is what if we as a parent take on the mortgage? What are the pros and cons? And our intent is also to help the child build up something. Mm-hmm. So if they were just having the mortgage in their own name, they are fully liable for everything. So if there's a default, it's totally up to them. The credit score and down the road purchasing power, it all will be affected. Sure. To the parent. The other con is too, you're not really helping your child because you may have an arrangement in place that they need to pay you back, mm-hmm, but if they don't, the parents are still liable. So there is not really that accountability as of yet. Mm-hmm. But if the intention is to help them out and you want to have them dip their toes into entering the real estate market, that's not really true either because all the equity that will be built up will be under the parent's name because that's just how it is. Sure. So the other part is what if the parents were to co-sign on a mortgage and then they both will be liable? Sure. The other part is too when there is the mortgage just in the name of the parents is also the principal residence exemption that you can only, if they were to sell the home, only apply it at one home at a time. Okay. So that's something to think about too. Mm-hmm. But with co-signing, both parties are allocated to the mortgage. They are both liable. So if one defaults, the other one still needs to come up with a payment. Mm-hmm. But at least they dip their toes into entering the real estate market. And also over time, if they were to sell and they build up equity, it will be for them.
Yes.
So once they've kind of settled their, they have found a steady job, they're settled down, and their income is more up to par. What they then could do is actually talk to an independent mortgage consultant and find out to see what needs to be done to get the approval process started. And once they are actually approved, then the parents can be removed from that particular mortgage, and they are no longer liable. So then they will have to assume the mortgage, and then it should be all good.
Is there a point where we're talking about the kids who got the mortgage because their dad or mom, both parents co-signed, do they have to go to a certain point in paying off that mortgage before they can take on the responsibility of it and letting their parents off the mortgage? How does that work?
No, as far as I know, it depends on, you're free from a time frame point of view or when that needs to happen. And it's also part of what relationship do you have with the child? What do you as a parent feel comfortable with? And I would assume that before you take on this particular decision in life, that's kind of part of the conversation you need to have. But at any moment in time, the child can assume the mortgage if they have the proper backup information, and then they can be removed and no longer liable.
Okay.
So that's really good. Also, the principal residence, if they were to sell their home down the road, then the principal residence exemption will apply as well.
Okay.
So the parents will not gain back their money, but their intention was eventually to help them. So what it does, it creates accountability because they need to make it happen.
Yeah.
In the end, if they want to carry on the mortgage on their own, so they better come up with something and work hard.
Yes.
And be smart. But so there's a win-win situation for both of them, and the intention for the parents to actually give it as a down payment for their first home.
And not surprising at all, of course, we're starting to see more and more of this as real estate continues to get further and further from many people's grasp. So you need that helping hand sometimes. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. I have just one last slide, and it's actually a Warren Buffett quote. The perfect amount to leave children is enough so they can do anything, but not so much that they can do nothing.
Isn't that the truth?
So we don't want to disencourage them.
Right, and that can happen too, and that's not at all a good way to go for kids. It doesn't help them at all. So awesome. Monique, thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much, Susan.
If you have any questions about today's topic, you can certainly get a hold of Abbott Wealth Management. You can go to abbottwealth.com. The phone number on the screen as well, 372-3736. We are back after a quick break. Stay with us.